So I want to welcome everybody to our Connecticut State Grange Lecturers Roundup. This is the 7th Roundup that I've had the opportunity to host, and I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We will make a recording for those that can't be here. Let's see here. All right. Why won't my screen move? There we go. There we go. So our agenda tonight, I just do a quick welcome. I would love to find out everybody because we've got a couple of guests from out of state on the call. We're going to talk about our hearing awareness project that is, this project is funded by the National Grange Foundation. And we're really excited about it, and we want to make sure that we have a lot of participation. There's really something for everybody to do. I'm going to give an update on the state Grange plot and that exciting activity. And Bob was already asking about funds raised. I'll talk about that. I just want to review as we finish one Grange year and begin the next and get ready for our Connecticut State Grange Convention, our lecturers contest that we have, our appreciation and our honor award, and make sure that I hear from everybody. Bob, Gold Star many times over, actually put it all into writing in a book to show me the wonderful things that his Pomona is doing. Would like to hear any updates from any community or Pomona Granges. I know there's a lot of exciting things going on around the state. And then we'll finish up with anything else that you would like to chat about. So let's begin just with brief introductions, where we're from, and if there's a position you'd like to highlight that you hold. And what I'll do, I think, since there's many on here, I'll just call out names, and then you can just tell us, unmute yourself, tell us who you are, what Grange you're from, in a position you might hold. So again, I'm Dave Roberts, and I'm from Riverton Grange, and up in Northwestern Connecticut. And I currently serve as the Connecticut State Grange Lecturer Program Director. So how about next we go to on my screen, I have Eileen.
Hi there, I'm Eileen McKean. I'm from Wallingford Grange, and I am steward, but I'm curious about everything. That's why I'm here.
Well, and you're also a member of the Leadership Academy.
Yeah, yes, that too.
Excellent. Debbie. Vale.
Hi, I'm Debbie Vale, and I'm from Winchester Grange, and I hold many positions, everything from state deputy, and now at Winchester, I'm on the executive committee, and as far as Pomona, I'm a lecturer there, so many different hats.
Well, welcome. Cheryl.
Sherry Robinson. I am from Vernon Grange. I am lecturer there and community service, and lecturer of Eastern Connecticut, Pomona Grange.
Welcome. Joan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Good evening. I am currently the chair of the National Grange Foundation Board. I am a member of Potomac Grange #1 and went out as the president of that Grange after 20 years in June. I'm a deputy master for president for New Jersey State Grange. That's my home state. And on the executive committee there of my local Grange in New Jersey. I served as camp director in the state of New Jersey for 23 years before my job took me to DC, and then I moved over to Potomac. Thank you.
Well, welcome. Renee, are you there?
Yes, I am.
There you are.
Hello, how are you? So my name is Renee Peterson, and I'm the lecturer of the Riverton Grange up in Northwest Connecticut.
Well, welcome. And Karen, do you want to go next?
Yes, Karen McDonald. Hi. I am Greenfield Hill Grange in Fairfield, and I'm chaplain there. But like Eiley, I like any meetings that have to do with the Grange, also participating in the Leadership Academy. So thank you for offering this to those of us who are not lecturers, Dave. Thank you.
Well, so glad to have you, and I enjoy you on the Academy Zooms. Our ASL interpreter.
Hi, my name is Tara Plaqueta, and I am a member of the New Jersey State Grange, and I am currently living in Florida, and I am Joan Smith's niece. And so that, not that that's related to what I do, but I learned sign language in the Grange as a junior, and I became an interpreter 25 years ago. So I was asked by Amanda to join your meeting tonight and maybe show some signs for the program that you're having for in October. So I am, we'll check in here with you in a little bit. And I know Carolyn should be joining us here in a couple minutes as well.
Excellent. And Tara, can you spell your last name?
Yes, P as in Peter, Lakyda.
I never would have gotten it. Thank you.
It's okay, thank you.
Judy.
Hi, everybody. I am with the Riverton Grange, but I am the lecturer for the Granby Grange, and I am the secretary for the Mountain Laurel Pomona.
Excellent. Joanne. Hi.
And
Joanne, do you want to say hi? You want to unmute or just okay, just a wave. That's okay. Bob.
yeah, I'm Bob Charbonneau. I'm a current lecturer for Nutmeg Pomona number 16, and also a state public relations co-chairman.
And how about our other co-chair, Terry?
Hi, I'm Terry Fazio, and I'm co-director of public relations for the Connecticut State Grange, and I am a member of Winchester Grange and Mountain Laurel Pomona.
Excellent. And Ramona, Winchester's in the house. Are you muted, Ramona? Let me see. How do I unmute you? Ask to unmute. How about that? Did that work?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There, now I'm there. Hi, I'm Ramona Fazio. I'm lecturer of Winchester Grange.
Welcome. And Carolyn? Did I say that right? Carolyn Reed?
Yes, you
She
did.
looks frozen. And then Andrea, I just heard from you. How are you, Andrea? Okay. All right. Well, if people want to talk when they can get unfrozen, I was on a call earlier today and my
And he froze. So just in case somebody freezes, see, if you restart your computer before a Zoom, there's a much less chance of doing that.
Look at all those nuts.
Oh, now we can see everybody.
Right? Yeah.
He was taking up all the bandwidth there.
Yeah.
Oh, what just happened? Here we go.
Gotta have fun.
I see cattail.
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Actually, I trimmed my cat's nails earlier today. That's why he's not in my lap. He's mad at me.
That was my chore too. Normally she's on my lap when I do the leadership and she's like, "You're not sitting in the right spot tonight."
That black ball of fur is a troublemaker.
Hello, everybody. Uh-oh.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi there. Hi. I hear Judy and Debbie. I almost forgot about this. Even though I'm not a lecturer, they said we still can come.
Hi, Carol.
Well, hi, Dave.
My internet just shut down again. So
Oh no, you didn't pay the bill, huh?
how I was having problems with. So, all right. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
No.
No, not anymore.
Not okay. Let's see here.
You have to reset.
See you.
Okay. Let's see here.
You have to turn it off and turn it back on.
Maybe hit it with a hammer.
Hit any key to continue.
I would like to. Living in the rural part of this state is awful.
Well, I'm like halfway between
If you
Hartford
wanna,
and New
Dave-
Haven, and we've had problems with
Yes.
internet in the last couple of days.
Dave, email me your thing and I'll put it up and share my screen, and then you can just talk if you want.
Okay, thank you. Let me do that right now. You're such a help, Terry. Let's see. Your info at Connecticut State Grange and insert
Information at CT State Grange.
Yeah.
Information, right?
Yep.
Yeah, information. Okay. Seems like the whole thing is down, but let's see. Try that.
It was amazing. I went to Orange Country Fair today, and it was amazing. I saw 50 some odd antique John Deere tractors all in one spot.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That is cool. We actually had an antique implement thing. Did you get it, Terry?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to add to Bob, if you've never been to the Orange Country Fair, it's a great medium-sized fair down a little bit near New Haven. So come next year.
Okay. Terry, I'm not sure if the whole internet is down.
If you don't have internet, then you might not be able to email it out either.
I'm wondering about, because I'm getting no response or anything from my desktop. I'm on my cell phone for this. Well, let's keep going because we've got a lot to accomplish. So our first thing that we want to talk about is deaf awareness. And we have had a big interest in this topic. And our first event that we did was 5 Granges, including Wallingford and Granby and Riverton that are on the call here, participated in Walk for Hearing. We raised over $850 for the American School for the Deaf, and we were really excited about that. We then applied for a National Grange Foundation grant to promote deaf awareness and really reconnect that topic here in Connecticut and the Connecticut State Grange. We were fortunate enough to get selected for one. And what our proposal was to work with the American School for the Deaf. And in West Hartford, the American School for the Deaf was started in 1817. And it is the oldest school for hearing impaired students in the United States, according to them. And we have had 5 planning meetings. And on this phone call, Carol Innes and Judy Doyle have been on the planning committee along with folks from the American School for the Deaf. Because their campus is going through a big upgrade, they're building 2 new dormitories. Our project has changed a little, and for our deaf awareness, we have wanted to find a way to connect Grange members with folks at the school that have an interest in this whole area. So what we've done now is come up with a 2-day project, and it's going to be themed around Halloween and the Grange. And so on day 1, which is October 30th, which is Monday, October 30th, we are going to be having a trunk or treat at the school outdoors. And so what we're hoping is Grangers and Granges will come, have trunks and their trunks decorated, and interact with their students, the siblings, and their families. And one of the questions that was asked, that's very good, Bob, you're all set. One of the questions that were asked are what type of students. American School for the Deaf has 3 types of students. They have day students that come and go from the campus every day. They have weekly students that come Monday morning and go home Friday night. And they have live on campus students that live there all the time. So a mixture of these students will be participating in this event. And so what we're planning is at 5 to 5:30 p.m. setting up around the horseshoe in front of the school in West Hartford. And that's at 139 North Main Street, West Hartford. And so, but set up in the front parking horseshoe. And then the students will come. We want to have reusable cloth bags with the Grange logo. And the students will go from car to car. And we're hoping to have interaction. And that's one of the reasons we're hoping that we have some folks that can learn some American Sign Language and talk to the students. In a minute, I was going to ask our interpreters if they could share a little bit. At least verbally. I'm not sure without the if we can see them, but we'll see about that. So that's on Monday night, and then on Tuesday, Halloween. Judy Doyle is really the mastermind behind this. We're going to have a costume parade and a maze set up in the library, and I'm going to ask Judy in a minute just talk about the maze because it's going to be themed on Halloween books with Grange symbols mixed in with it on fruits and agriculture and farming and things like that. Now, the teachers will be there for that. Some outside people will be there. We hope we're going to get some press in for this, showing the reconnection between Connecticut State Grange and the American School for the Deaf. For the trunk or treat, we have gotten permission to pass out candy. For the Halloween maze and the costume parade, we cannot pass out candy. So we've been collecting items that we are going to be passing out to the students. And what we're hoping is for on the 31st from 1:30 to 2:30, we'll actually have a Grange exhibit within the library and passing out items, but we would really like to have some Grange members as well as anybody else that wants to join us that may not yet be a Grange member to come to this event to interact with the students. The school has been just wonderful to deal with, and we're just really pleased to remake this connection. Because of this project, there's actually been a couple of good things that have developed. One is that our state president, Rob Buck, has now added deaf awareness activities back to our standing agenda for our Mountain Laurel Pomona, one of the 3 Pomonas here. And I'm hoping he's also going to do it at State Grange as we continue to include deaf awareness activities. So that's been really positive. And then from the school perspective, having this connection, they have an interest in opening some type of facility on the campus that's focused on agriculture. And this is a future project, I think, that we could get involved with Connecticut State Grange and really teaching the students about growing, fruits, vegetables, plants on their campus. So a lot of good is really coming from this investment investment that we're getting out of the foundation. But Judy, could you just give us a little flavor of some of the books in the maze and what your piece of this is going to be, and possibly also mention what Ashley Fan's piece is going to be? We've wanted to create some social media content.
Hi everybody. I'm working with Dave and Carol and some great people over at American School for the Deaf. And so for our Halloween maze, the first book or the first section of the maze is going to be Charlotte's Web. And then the second phase will be maybe a librarian or some costume that will hand out the Grange books and the comic books and some other things. And then the next phase will be 5 little pumpkins sitting on a log. And then the next room will be Room on a Broom. And then this next one will be Diagon Alley. And then the third one will be Click Clack Boo. So it should be a really, really fun and interesting maze for all the kids. And my friend Ashley, she's going to come and video it and make some clips for social media. So it should be, so what we would need, if anybody wants to help, like maybe design a room with me, like they can build some of the settings, and then you can email me and we could talk about it. And then if what we need is for setup, possibly on the day of event, if people want to come down, and if you want, you can maybe be part of the exhibit. So, but we could talk about different things. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Judy. And then Ashley Fan, who has joined our group, is hoping to do some type of social media. The students will be wearing wristbands because not all students can be videoed. And so we've worked through our committee to really make sure that we know, and again, to be able to increase awareness of deaf awareness and what we can be doing. So we're really excited about that. And so we're hoping we can then share that with others. And if we can get local news stations here just to see, what the Grange is doing with the American School for the Deaf, I think is really going to be positive. So would one of the needs that we have that I was talking to Amanda about at National was having the ability to communicate with the students, and maybe Tara or Tara, you can explain to us just briefly American Sign Language and a couple of things that we might be able to do to say hello to the students.
Tara, hold on for 1 second. Okay,
yes.
I'm Carolyn. I'm from the Marie Katzenbach School for the Deaf. I'm in New Jersey right now.
Yes.
So, I'm going to leave it up to Tara to do what she's going to do because I'm going to head on home. It takes me about an hour to drive home still. But if you need any help, I'm going to put it in the chat, my address and my contact phone number if you need me, if you need signs. But Tara is more than qualified to take care of this without me. So they had told me to show up. So I'm here and I say hi to everyone. But I'm going to head up home. If you need help with anything, Tara, just contact me. You know what to do. And good luck with everything. Congratulations on your grant and have fun.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, great. So there's a little fun fact. When I was like 10 years old, Carolyn had brought a deaf camper from her school for the deaf in New Jersey and brought him to our New Jersey State Grange camp. And she interpreted for the student the entire week. And I saw what she was doing and I wanted to do what she was doing. So this was about 35 years ago. And so it's all full circle. So now Carolyn and I get to do stuff like this together, which is just so amazing that the Grange has given us that opportunity to, with the language of the sign language through the Grange. What I think would be the best thing is I would love to make a short recording or something and maybe put some signs in there and I can email it out or text it to you, Dave, or whomever you want the contact to be. There's a lot of signs that I could show you here, but for enough time for you to comprehend it and to get it right there would not be enough time for that. So I think maybe best to record it, and then you can rewatch it, you can rewind it, watch it again, stuff like that. But I think Connecticut has an amazing opportunity to really have the American School for the Deaf, which is the oldest school for the deaf in America to date. And for you all to be so close to those children there is really quite amazing, because that school has set the foundation for all other schools for the deaf in the country. So I think it's really awesome that you guys have won this grant and that you're going to use this, and such a fun time for Halloween. But I had Googled some Halloween signs, and maybe if you wanted to learn some things like welcome, or you know, if you don't want to get too far into it, because if you start signing a lot, then they're going to start signing back to you and you're going to be like, what? You know, so we keep it very basic, but enough for the deaf that know. And it's okay to use the term deaf. It is a socially acceptable word, so you don't have to tiptoe around the hard of hearing or not hearing, and don't use deaf and dumb. Like, that is a term that was used 100 years ago. So you'll want to use deaf. But I'll put a video in there for deaf, and like black cat, because maybe, I mean, I see a cat there right now, but maybe you'll see some cute little goblin cats walking around. Candy and candy, you know, those would be signs to that you would want to learn. The one thing I want to tell you is that you'll use your dominant hand to copy the signs that I will sign to you. So if you're right-handed, when you see on the screen, you're going to use your opposite hand. So for example, candy, if everybody wants to try this, your right index finger, it goes on the right side of your mouth, and you just push it in a little bit. Candy. If you're left-handed, then you're going to copy me exactly on that side of the screen. Okay, so that's candy. The sign for Halloween, like this is what we sign for mask. So you would say happy, happy, in upward motion, Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Happy Halloween. Pumpkin, this is really a cute one, because I know in the maze, you're going to be doing the 5 little pumpkins. So you take your middle finger and your thumb and you just flick the back of your left hand. And this is a sign for pumpkin. Okay, pumpkin. There's nothing really it's very arbitrary, that it's not iconic where it looks like what I'm going to show you. So you kind of have to just say, okay, well, that's pumpkin, period. That's just the sign for pumpkin. Costume looks like clothes. So you could say, cute costume. And it's like the clothes, it goes, your thumbs go down on your chest for costume. Or if you could say, scary costume, scary costume. Is there anything on the top of your head that you would like to learn at the moment before I create my own vocabulary list for you?
That is perfect. Let me just give a little more flavor. So the grades, so first of all, we have the school librarian and 2 ASD folks on our planning committee. We've had 5 1-hour plus meetings at the school. Our next meeting is actually going to be a Zoom. So we've created a great relationship with them. This school is pre-K through grade 12. Our group that we're dealing with for this initial 2-day activity that we're doing on behalf of the National Grange Foundation is for pre-K through grade 5. So one of the things that we agreed is nothing scary. So we won't learn that sign. They want it to be happy, fun, you know, that type of stuff. Because originally in the maze, we were talking about arms sticking out and stuff, and they thought for this class that wasn't appropriate. We have, in Loretta, Washington is sending us the comic book. It might not be quite appropriate for some of the age groups, but we wanted to have them. And then if we have any left, give them out to the older classes, because the group we're dealing with is 50 to 60 students. They're very small classes, and 5 to 6 students per class. Some grades have 2 classes, some just have 1. So we've gotten that. We're also working with Terry on ordering some other things that have meaning. Loretta is also sending us the American Sign Language alphabet posters and the American Sign Language Pledge of Allegiance poster. And so we're going to have some of that for our Granges, as well as for anyone else that wants that material. But again, I think I would love to have your video to share with all the folks that would like to be involved with this, because I think this is truly a great thing. And knowing Connecticut State Grange's history 15, 20 years ago with the school, if we could start with this grant to rebuild that. And I think, the superintendent at ASD has been so supportive of us, and Liz DeRosa is our primary point of contact. And so she and Molly, who are on our committee, and the school librarian, they've just been fantastic to deal with. So are there any questions? So our big needs, then I see Karen waving at me. Our big needs, we need cars or some type of vehicle to come to be like a trunk or treat, just for 1 hour, 6 to 7, because they want to have this activity done by 7 p.m. So that's on October 30th. And then on October 31st, there could either be set up, you could just be there to interact with the children. We're going to have a Grange station where we're going to be passing out items. We've got chalk and jump ropes and all kinds of fun little things that we're going to be able to hand out for costumes or whatever people really want to do. We're going to have stickers and other things also. So those are the 2 days. So Karen, I think you had your hand up.
Thank you. Could you teach us, please, the sign for happy, I think, autumn or fall?
Yes. Did you say happy first? Yes. So any sign that has an upbeat or positive affect, it goes into upward motion. So happy is going to be made right here at like your breastbone at your shoulder, and it goes in an upward motion. Happy. Happy. Also for fall or autumn, your right hand is this hand shape. It's called a flat hand, and it goes on your elbow, and it looks like this. Fall. Fall. So your left arm is up and your right hand is brushing the elbow.
Oh, thank you.
Happy fall. You're welcome. I also wanted to point out that Carolyn and I, back during COVID 2020, we were invited by Amanda to do the Cultivating Connections. And we have several ASL lessons on there. They're about an hour long, but there's tons of vocabulary on there if you wanted to look at that. We're on YouTube, and if you just type in like National Grange Cultivating Connections, ASL or American Sign Language, you will see you'll see Carolyn and I, and we picked like different categories each week, and we met on every Friday and did like a YouTube at 4 p.m. So if you're interested, or the goal was that junior Grangers could utilize that resource, or any country or any Grange in the country could access those videos just to get like maybe to earn their badge and whatnot. But I will make this video, and I'll use the fall and the autumn and some phrases and nothing scary, and kind of keep the little ones in mind. And then I'll send that to you, Dave, and I'll get your information from Antoni.
Perfect. Any other questions?
I've got one piece of information. Back in the 70s, the National Grange started off with Sign-a-Song. And I believe those books are still available at the National Grange shop, where there's 2 volumes where you can learn sign language through music.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? So on my beautiful slide program, which I will now send you my PowerPoint, I had a picture of both the posters, the Pledge of Allegiance and the American.
I just received your PowerPoint, Dave. If you want the ability to share my screen, I can share it.
Wait, oh, how do I do that now?
Let me see if I can do it here. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's disabled.
Let's see here.
It's all on you, Dave.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. Well, let's keep. Oh, wait. I'm going to reclaim my host.
What is he doing?
I think he got internet back.
Due to technical difficulties beyond our control, we will
He's
now
becoming himself.
You're muted, Dave.
You're still muted, Dave. You're still muted.
My internet is back up, but let me screen share. Okay, Terry, can you hear me? Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Okay. Well, if you've got your internet, just share yourself.
Why don't you do it? Because it's really it's really flaky.
Okay.
Kept going down during my lunchtime one today. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's see here. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Terry. You're a lifesaver.
All right.
Let's just go down quickly through the deaf awareness. Slide 4 or 5.
That looks good.
That one?
So again, these are our 2 projects that we have done this year. We had 12 walkers from 5 different Granges, which was great. Americans, this is what originally caught their attention with us, like why we designated our money to go to them. Then when we heard about our grant is how we got in there for our first meeting, and it's now turned into this great committee structure, and we're hoping even beyond this grant, it's going to lead to future opportunities. The slide 5. This is the first thing that we've mailed this out to all, thanks to Todd and to Terry. We have mailed this out to all of our Granges and Pomonas. And so setup is between 5 and 5:30 on October 30th. And then the event will just be 6 to 7. We think that's going to be plenty of time. And but we're really looking forward to interaction with the students and their families, letting them know what the Grange is. So if you have a car, we're keeping a list. American School for the Deaf is going to have some vehicles also to help augment what we don't have. I think, Judy, they said between 30 and 40 cars is what they wanted, but there was not a limitation. And so I know Debbie Vale, you're participating. Carol Innish, you're participating. Judy's participating. I'm participating. Others can shout out that they're going to participate.
Yes, I'm participating. Renee Peterson, I'm participating.
Yay! Thank you, Renee.
Oh, you're welcome.
So anyways, the more the merrier, and it can be more than one person from your Grange too. So if you've got folks to come to this, and then the next slide, this is the actual Halloween day. And they actually have large video screens throughout the school, and they're going to be able to show things on there, including some Grange messaging and stuff. So we're really excited about that. So what the pre-K through grade 5 are going to do by class, and again, a class is around 5 students, what they're going to do, it'll be a parade, they'll come through the maze, there'll be different stops that they're going to make. One of the stops will be the Grange stop. So if you just want to sit, you can be sitting there. You can interact with the students. I know some of our members have ambulatory challenges. So, but again, hopefully we can learn some of the sign. And it says, if you can read the fine print, fun, not scary maze. But again, showing off vegetables, farming, gardening, that type of stuff. So, and then slide 7 is just the 2 posters that Loretta is sending. We have 100 of each of these that are coming. And I would love, as we continue to promote, since as long as I'll say it this way, as long as I'm state Grange lecturer, as we can continue to promote deaf awareness as something that we can be involved in, particularly working with this school. I just think it's wonderful. And the more we can have and come up with different collaborations, I think that is great. So that's our deaf awareness update. Any final questions on that before we move on? Okay. Next then is the State Grange plot, which has been found. We're really excited about this. In 1930, the Connecticut State Grange donated funds and purchased over 20 acres of land to add to People's State Forest. Working on the Connecticut State Grange book that Terry and Bob and others are working on, a few times they had asked questions about the plot and where was it, and people had different ideas. Well, finally, the Barkhamsted Historical Society found the plot. Judy went with me and a bunch of folks in the Historical Society and the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection rep went with us. We walked the property, at least they did. I stood in the road because I don't like snakes or ticks. And I know, you're a brave lecturer. But anyways, they walked the property. And so the state of Connecticut wants a permanent marker on this property. So we have worked on designing, it's going to be a boulder that the state of Connecticut is going to provide, and the Grange has to provide the 24-inch by 24-inch plaque. If we can go to the next slide for just 1 second. This is one of the clues that they used, the King Farm, where it says in here, this is when Frank Prelli for the bicentennial, but this is one of the clues to identify where this piece of land actually was. We found the King Farm that was, and it's so ironic that this farm has a connection to our North Stonington Grange lecturer and Sue Pianca. It really is nice. The next slide. This actually shows people out walking this snake-infested, tick-infested piece of property that used to be a beautiful farm. And the state would like to have, there is, if you can see in the background on the left, there is some open space there. And the state would like to have some accessible space here. The plaque on the right is what we are designing. And the state Connecticut State Grange Executive Committee has approved the wording. And so if we go to the next slide, this great logo has been designed that we are so excited about. So we, on the next slide, Terry, we have sent this mailing out to all Granges and anybody that we think's interested. We did just get our first check from a non-Grange member who heard me speaking about this. Amanda did ask me to speak at Potomac Grange #1 the other day about this, but of our $2,000 goal, we're currently at $1,015. So we're slightly over halfway there. And the funds go to our State Grange secretary at the State Grange office in Winchester Center. So we're just really excited about this project and to have it permanently memorialized. And open space and forest land is just such an important thing to every place, but here in Connecticut, where we've set aside for Peoples State Forest, it's 3,079 acres. So we're just really excited about having this opportunity. So any questions on that? And Debbie, I want to thank Mountain Laurel Pomona, who was our first donor for this. And I think you made one of the motions, Debbie, up there following Todd. So thank you for their support of this project. Okay.
Dave,
Yes.
you said that the state of Connecticut, that cleared land that we could see in the photo, that they wanted to have access or something to this 20 acres. What's that all about?
Yeah, so this land at one point was voted the most beautiful farm in Litchfield County, Connecticut. When it was donated to the state of Connecticut, they used to rent the house out. So when I was a kid, my school bus actually went by this piece of property every day on the other side of the town of Barkhamsted. The driveway is still there. It's currently not passable. Brush has grown over it. But once you get over that brush, there is an open field. There's a cellar hole. There's a barn hole. But they would like the ability to have people stop and walk on this property, because if Terry went back a couple of slides to the original map where it's found, slide 8, yeah. This is the only real thing on that side of the park. Everything else is on the far left side of the park along East River Road. Yeah, thank you, right there. That's where all the recreational activity is. And the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection really likes the idea of having a place where people can enjoy the outdoors on the right side, which is the eastern side, yeah, over there on Park Road. So they would like to come up with something that they would be responsible for, where people could walk in and really enjoy the beauty of this open space that used to be farmland. Most of it is now overgrown, but there's beautiful stone walls on the property, some water features on the property. So it's just a great piece of property. According to legend, when Frank Prelli and the National Grange Master came in 1976, a tree was planted. We don't think it was on this piece of property. We think it was over on the western side of the park, because we can't find any reference on the east side of the park to this. Does that answer your question, Joan?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such an exciting thing. And to think that the state of Connecticut, anytime you work with anybody, it's, can be difficult. And they have just been so accommodating with our questions and what we want to do. And when I originally had proposed a wooden sign, and they said, oh no, we want something that's permanent. We don't want this to be lost again. And according to the 1930 agreement, this was supposed to be, come with naming rights. And the irony is, even though land was $8 an acre, it was $500 to get naming rights to a 20-acre parcel. And that's the state raised $400, I think it was, Terry, was it $483? And they had to borrow the last 17, or Bob?
The executive committee voted to pay the difference.
Yes.
Bring it up to 500.
Yes, to get over $500, which is a lot of money back in 1930 during the Depression. So, but this is, I think, such an exciting thing. But again, it's going to be a place where we can bring our youth to. I was talking to Amanda about that. If we could get, a place where they could come out and enjoy the open space and see that almost 100 years ago, we were looking ahead. And a lot of people, that's what Joe and I was telling Potomac Grange, they don't realize that Connecticut, the word is denuded. We were 80% without trees here in at the turn of between 1899 and 1900, because charcoal had been a big industry in Connecticut. So all the trees were cut down. And anytime you see old pictures or drawings of Connecticut prior to 1900, there's not a lot of forest land. And so when World War I happened, the soldiers came back from Europe and said, we want to have forest land. So Connecticut set up 17 state forests, American Legion being one of the first. So the World War I soldiers did that. And then American Legion donated 200 acres to get this now 3,000 acre piece of property going to preserve open space and forest land so that people could really enjoy what it used to be like when we were really a wooded area.
So it's really kind of cool. In 1930, there were estimated to be 18 deer in the entire state of Connecticut, and they were in Groton.
Wow.
There were no turkeys, no fishers, no eagles, a very few hawks. It's really amazing what our state has done with their natural resources in the last 100 years since the 1937 Pittman-Robertson Act.
Right. And even, you know, one of the big things that we as a Grange talk about that have agriculture and farms is the whole challenge that we have now with black bears here in Connecticut, and that issue and how do we deal with it. And I know at Granby Grange, where we have a state representative as a member, there's always legislation trying to figure out how do we, you know, control this. Because when I was growing up, I don't ever remember a bear up in this neck of the woods. And now almost every day you see a bear or hear about somebody in this area that sees a bear. So, but it's really great to, you know, really preserve this land. And just to think the Grange was, because it was the 45th session of the Connecticut State Grange where they passed a resolution to do this. And, but to think in that we've found it thanks to the Barkhamsted Historical Society, I think is just wonderful. So this is just a project. Again, lecturers, if you want me to come to your Grange and talk about it, I got 5 minutes at Potomac Grange, and Amanda said I did a great job. So anyways, that is good. So any other questions on that topic?
Can we do a work party to clear a trail?
Sure.
I love doing that stuff. That's like my favoriteest thing.
Excellent, excellent. No, there's a group called Friends of American Legion in People's State Forest. So it's both sides of the river where the two forests are. They have a group of volunteers. We've met with them to talk about getting Grangers involved with them on projects around conservation. And we've chatted, you know, to see if we can get youth involved with this. So I think as we proceed forward, there's going to be opportunities. So Eileen, I will make sure I keep you in Wallingford informed on that.
Woohoo!
Yay. All right, let's keep moving because I don't want to run. We're going to run out of time. So in Connecticut, we have two levels of appreciation. And the first one is our appreciation award. Last year, 7 of our Granges earned this award. I don't believe any Pomonas did, but Pomonas are eligible. And already Bob, for his Pomona, has turned in his material. But basically, the criteria is that you have a suitable program at every meeting, that your program, unlike my predecessor, I don't set a specific length, but anytime up to 30 minutes. But again, if it's shorter, if it's meaningful, we really want, you know, Grange programming to be meaningful to the members. What are they interested in? And I know many of you who are lecturers on here really work to do that. We do want you to try to cooperate with the other Grange committees in your Grange. So like my home Grange works closely with community service and family activities. But so cooperate with your others. Send in your reports. People always ask me, what does it mean to be timely? Some people, I won't comment, but just sent me 3 reports in. That's fine. As long as I know that you're working at it. I know one person had health challenges, that's fine, but get me your reports so I know. And if you need help, let me know. So, but just get me your reports in. You can get them off the State Grange website, or you can just get them from me. And finally, just send me an email that you think you qualify for either the lecturers, the appreciation award, or the honor award, which is the next one. Just send, this is the honor award. And basically this one, meet the requirements for the appreciation award. And in addition to that, participate in at least 3 of our contests or projects. So the projects this last year, so we're on year 2 now. Did you incorporate the heirloom program in your Grange meetings? I know Riverton has, and I know another Grange I belong to hasn't yet, but we're hoping they will. But incorporate that. Like when we met last Friday night, it was vice president from the 3rd degree. So our Grange vice president did the reading and then said what it meant to him, and then another Granger mentioned. So do that. Many of your Granges participated in the photo contest. We have the complete program. If you want to do that and send me a complete program, do that. The honoring our elders, which means you volunteered so many times throughout the year at either a nursing home or a care facility, a senior center. A word from home that we've written to folks overseas or sent packages overseas. And I've told you at any time, if you need addresses, my son's stationed overseas again in the Air Force. So if you need addresses, just ask me. And then the final one, if you initiate a new program, you know, I am really a strong supporter if you've got something that you think we ought to be doing. For example, Riverton Grange initiated the Veteran of the Month program. We're just getting ready for our 27th month of doing that. And we're doing it with the American Legion. And last Friday night, we just voted in as new members the commander of the American Legion and his wife. So that's a new program. We've just did, and we're going to be doing our 6th American flag retirement program, which we've picked up because a lot of organizations have stopped retiring tattered, torn, used up American flags by the US code. So we've launched that code. So if you've launched a new program, but just send me what 3 projects that you have done, whether it's heirloom photo complete, the elders, the soldiers, or the new program, just let me know. Submit a Grange in Action or a Golden Grange in Action. Last year, 3 of our Granges submitted Grange in Action. That's the program that goes to Loretta, Washington. And you basically send in 1 sheet of paper with, I believe it's up 5 or 6 programs, a few photos, and you just show 3. Thank you, Joe. And but last year 3, when 5 or more are designated Grange in Action, your state is then designated the State Grange in Action. And then this year, I know already 2 Granges have been designated, or at least submitted to be designated Golden Grange in Action. And every Grange in Connecticut ought to submit for that because we picked up the mental health challenge. We have had sessions on that. We did a webinar that many of the Granges participated. And so the Golden Grange in Action means that you not only do the Grange in Action requirements, but you do 1 mental health awareness activity. And we brought on speakers from rural mines to talk with us about their initiative, about their resources that are available, about tools. We helped launch the Lions 988 Lions Club. So if you're doing anything that would qualify under mental health awareness for the Golden Grange in Action. So I hope you'll submit for both of those. And so if you do those things, submit either for Grange in Action or Golden Grange in Action, then just tell me, do you think you qualify by the end of the month for this award? And I'll follow up with you just to make sure. And we're going to have some good recognition at the celebration banquet in Norwich at our state convention. Questions on those 2? Nope. Well, I better see some nominations. So I'm telling you, Bob, you're all set. So you're done for Pomona. All right.
Thank you.
So and I shouldn't say this, but I actually showed it to another Pomona lecturer, showing her that she had competition here. Which is what I like, competition, right? So good job. And I'm bringing, actually, Bob, your submission to the state session so that people can see it, because I think it's a great documentation of what your Pomona has done over the last 12 months. And I just think the way you pulled it together was great.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anything that our lecturers, either from our subordinate community Granges or Pomona Granges, want to talk about? Successes, challenges, other things you want to discuss, questions? This is the final part of the meeting. We started these when I unexpectedly became lecturer. I said I really wanted lecturers to know that you're not in this alone. At any time, if you want me to come to your Grange to do something, I love presenting the Citizen of the Year awards. I've done that at a few Granges this year. If you want me to come do a program at your Grange, if you want to borrow ideas from other Granges, please that's why we try to share. But you're not in this alone, and I know that's what I think sometimes people feel, that they're there by themselves with no help. Well, you're not. The lecturers department and your fellow lecturers are here to help you. So anything anybody wants to share?
Dave, just to follow up with the sign-a-song, if you could take down the presentation so I can see myself on the screen.
Okay.
Terry?
Yep.
Okay. These are the two publications that came out from the National Grange in 76 and 1980. Lift up your hands.
Okay.
So they should be still available through the National Grange. And then also there are two people in state that really have done the sign-a-song, and that's Don Lanou from Cheshire and B.J. Harrington from Hemlock.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Other people? Judy, I know one challenge you're having at Granby is that the meetings, being a reinvigorated Grange, sometimes gloss over the lecturer's time, which is a struggle. And I don't know if other Granges have suggestions, but Judy puts her heart and everything into her programs. And it just seems a lot of times it gets like we've run 2.5 hours, but that's one of the challenges, like Wallingford and Granby, of being reinvigorated Granges. There's just a lot of stuff, but you don't want to. One of the things I've suggested, and Debbie, maybe at some point you want to do, is to take some of the business stuff separately, like they used to have a business meeting and then the member meeting, and move some of the stuff just to a business meeting. It could even be by Zoom, so that at the member meeting it could be more membership oriented stuff, so they're just getting final decisions on things and enjoying the program and socializing, that type of stuff. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So but anyways, other people, successes, challenges.
Well, I can say for Wallingford, I'm not the lecturer, but Kathy's done a phenomenal job, and she does always present things at every meeting. I think I don't know about the whole year, because it took us a little bit to get the hang of it, because we've got only one legacy member, and we've got our 40-ish brand spanking new Grangers that we don't even know what we don't know. So, but she's done such a phenomenal job with, keeping us entertained and, trying to get us all to sing. and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I want to.
We don't really eat. I mean, we have a really small snack, but having gone to some other Granges, I want to try to get people to, stick around and break bread more, because I've really enjoyed that in the Pomona meetings. And at Cheshire, when I've dipped into Cheshire's meetings a couple of times just to get the hang of it. And so I still want to get them to do that more. And we're getting there. We're getting there.
Now, when I came to Wallingford, you had fabulous cupcakes, homemade cupcakes.
That was Kathy.
Yes.
She often makes themed cookies. Like I did a beekeeping program, and she had these little hexagon shaped cookies that were frosted yellow, and she had little bees on them. They were adorable and they were delicious. It was a lot of fun.
I just want to toot your horn at Wallingford while Joan is here just for 1 second. So I'm not sure if Joan knows I'm the head lion for Connecticut. We have 5,000 lions in Connecticut and 156 clubs. And I'm sitting at a dinner one night and I'm talking to this man and he tells me he's from Wallingford. And I said, "Oh, have you heard of the Wallingford Grange?" And he said, "It's funny you bring that up. They just invited the Wallingford Lions to come to this great speech on mental health put on by a member from Granby Grange." I said, "No, tell me more about it." So, I mean, it is amazing that Wallingford would have the insights as a just restarting Grange to reach out to other groups in the community. And this guy actually said he would consider at some point, because I guess you mentioned if people wanted to join. So that's how you grow membership. And I think Wallingford is just, yes, Joan, thumbs up. I think Wallingford is just a great example, but I just about fell off my chair. And when he said, "You're at Grange too?" I said, "Yeah, and you can be too." I said, the last time we had a male state lecturer in Connecticut, he was the head lion and he was the state Grange lecturer, I was told. Is that right, Terry?
Yes.
So, which is just so ironic that, I'm sort of in the same position now. And that was like 50 years ago or more.
Yeah, almost 60.
Yeah, 60. So anyways, it's just ironic, but those are the type of things. But you not only touch them as a Grange, but bringing that mental health topic to them through the 988 group, which our Grange is trying to take to all community Granges. So if you're looking for a great program, ask them to come and talk. 988 is the national mental health 3-digit number now to get instantaneous access to a mental health provider, and you will not be connected to law enforcement or anything else, just to a professional mental health person. So we have been through Rural Minds promoting that throughout the state. And I know Kathy Eileen said that she is so exhausted from your fair. And Carol, I know your Grange had a very successful fair that you chaired, and then yesterday your open farm day. And I know you're probably exhausted. And there you go, Carol.
Yeah. Almost fell asleep in church today.
Yeah, I went up to Franklin, Connecticut today to teach a trapping class, and there were a few times where I was struggling to keep my eyes open as other people were instructing. So,
well, that's great. And I know Winchester, you had your event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Great. Well, good. Well, I appreciate everybody being on our 7th call. I hope all the Connecticut folks or anybody else will be at our state convention. You've heard that our national vice president is our guest at our state convention. Is correct, Terry?
Yes, Chris Hamp. And our husband Dwayne will be there.
Did I freeze Ann?
And she can deadlift 200 pounds. So she's pretty good.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks for having us, Dave. Have a good night, everybody.